Good, good. Yeah, I think this one should be interesting. Obviously, I mean, we've seen what can happen around this circuit with, I think it was F1 Esports this season just gone, where I think it was 7 cars eliminated at one corner, just because of high house speed and how much pressure there is around this circuit. But I think it is going to be a unique challenge for the drivers. Yeah, it's close at the top. Top 4 separated by 11 points. Obviously, a little bit of a gap to the cars behind. As well, Victor Garcia has been very consistent. He finished, I think it was P2 on track in Las Vegas, but had a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Finished P4 at Silverstone, I think, with another penalty dropping him off the podium, and then P6 in Monza. So, I mean, he is just as much up there as everybody else. Yeah, and it does just come down to who's been racing, you know, and when. I mean, Haas, unfortunately, on 0 points, but they've only had, you know, 3 people, well, essentially 3 drivers show up of a possible 6. Alpine as well in a similar position, they've only had 4. But yeah, I mean, it's down to Lennart Deckers, really, that Red Bull have managed to hold that lead. Of course, McLaren getting a win, Mercedes P2 still wasn't enough to topple them with neither driver racing. Yeah, it would not surprise me at all, especially given that a lot of the overtaking opportunities, or I guess you'd call it the end of the DRS, go into high-speed corners. Of course, used to have the DRS into turn 13. That's still a really good opportunity if you can slingshot through turn 11 and carry the speed all the way. So then high-speed 4th to 5th gear corner, gonna probably be quite close there. Also into, I believe it's turn 23. I might be slightly wrong with that. I think it's 22 or 23. Where of course we saw like Lance Stroll crash in 2024, where DRS does give a really good opportunity. The hairpin as well at the end of the lap is a lot higher speed than people seem to think, and it does get really tight, especially on the exit. And the DRS detection for the main straight being after the corner now is a testament to just how much trouble it's been down there. Oh, Yep, here's our chance to learn every corner. Oh no, they're not numbered. No. But into the first chicane, I'll say. There we go. So turn 1 and 2, quite a high-speed chicane. Oh, it's gone. You want to chop over the bumps in both parts of the corner, then through the little left kink of turn 3 into turn 4, where I will be very surprised if we go the whole night without seeing a front left sheared off at that corner. We've both seen it happen before. I've seen you do it before, which was funny. But yeah, a very critical corner on the lap as well. Heading through turns 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, which are all double apexed corners. You know, very high speed, very flowing section into 11 and 12, where there is a skateboard curb on the exit, and you don't want to be touching that, as Mick Schumacher found out a couple of years back. Turn 13, as I mentioned, quite high speed corner, banked as well. And heading through 14, 15, and 16, which is another one of those weird slingshots like turn 4, through the DRS detection. And now with the DRS heading towards turn 22, 3, and 4, which is a very tight complex at incredible speeds. Very easy to hit the barriers through there. And then around what I call the butter knife, through the final DRS of the lap and into turn 27. Of course, we've seen plenty of drama there in real life with Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen. Yeah, it's an incredible track. And yeah, can't wait to get started. I think we do have drivers getting out there. Yeah, couldn't agree more. And the issue with this circuit is one hesitation, especially on as tight a grid as we've seen. What was it? The top 10 last week was separated by like 3/10 or something. It was, but one hesitation, and that could be, 10 positions. Yeah, especially heading through this section here into turn 12. If you get on that curb, which Balsha has managed to not do, it's very easy to invalidate as well. Heading through turn 13 and towards, I believe it's turn 15 or 16. Uh, Anyone's guess is as good as mine at this circuit, but as well, it's very easy to hop over the curb here. But again, he seems to be well within the limits at the minute. Yeah, Rasenberg with a 26-1 as well. We've got Pesci with a 26.5. So have we found our time that's going to keep being replicated? Another 26.5, a 26.3 for Jonas Adam here, who is, I think, a new driver this evening. Adrien Teres, I think it's pronounced. I've probably butchered that. With a 27.1, 27.0 for Marcos Olmedo as well. Crisis Pilakouris with a 26.6. So, as said, times are tumbling. One detail that I find interesting, I don't know if it's just me, but in real life, you're not allowed to dip a wheel over the white line heading up towards the start-finish line. But, of course, the drivers can here. I don't know how much difference that's going to make, if any, but it'll be interesting to see. As both Ferraris have gone 9th and 10th with 26, both with 26.6s, separated by just 0.15. Kevin Vest with a 26.8 as well. That's Mick with a 26.3 going up to the P4. So both McLarens at the front of the field. And yeah, it looks like most people have finished their laps. I think it's just Vettel who is in the Haas now, which has he dropped to reserve? Yeah, he's backed off. Yeah, I mean, judging off of Monza, where I think the times dropped about half a second from the first flying laps, we could be looking at a mid 25. I'm not too sure though. Of course, they are massively different circuits, despite I think being the two highest average speed on the calendar. Is that right? I, I think, yeah. Is that yeah, I think we're going to be seeing 3 runs from most of the drivers. Is Oh yeah, Kevin's invalid. I thought for a second that he was on again. Yeah, Tim Tornamo has started now for Red Bull, heading into turn one and getting quite close to the wall. Oh, is that the actual line? I've been seeing that corner wrong my whole life. But now heading through turn three and into turn four. We'll see how close he gets to the apex curve. Oh! Oh, wait, it's raining! It's raining, John! No, it's still going. It's still raining. I mean, last time I saw legit rain, dynamic, at this track was on my F1 2021 career mode. But up to the line, how much could this be hurting Tornamo? And it's a 26-7. No pun intended. Ooh. Kevin. Oh no. It was Marcos finishing. Uh, oh, I think that's an indicator. Are they all? They're all coming in, Josh. Yes, both passes. You can sort of see the like almost looks like standing water in the final corner there as Vettel sets a 27-4. We've got both Ferraris now. I believe that was Sinan who just crossed the line. Oh no, it's Tom 97 who's gone up to P12 with a 26.6. Sinan comes into the pits. I think this might be the end of qualifying. Markov, Kevin's coming around to finish to start a lap or pit. Myth has definitely abandoned his lap. What a weird session. Wait, Will, I've just got a message that apparently Will is watching the stream, says he can't hear you, only me. There, The 1 week I don't have the audio. I don't do the audio check. Hang on. Let me.
But
Maybe,
Yeah,
there
you're
we
not-
go. You
you're
should be able to hear me on the stream now. That is very unfortunate.
That's quite funny.
Oh well. Yeah, what a qualifying session. People are now retiring. I still feel like there's probably a chance someone might be able to improve, but we're still seeing occasional green sectors, although yeah, it just comes down to whether there's actually the time on the board there, or whether, you know, if you've had a bad lap, you might be able to improve, but if you've had a pretty decent lap, I expect that's probably going to be it for you here. We've already had our top two retire. Jonas Adams is back out onto the track, maybe looking to try and challenge here. He's only a couple tenths off. If he can find that improvement, then that definitely could be a chance for the pole position here. Obviously, the rain not going to be helping him.
Kev's coming in as well. If the rain's picking up, Josh, it's not gonna. There's not gonna be an improvement. It's certainly looking heavier in the sky, but yeah, I don't think any of us had that on. I don't think that's on a single bingo card anywhere in the world.
Yeah, probably not. I think this lap probably will define the session, really. If Jonas cannot find an improvement, the driver currently sitting in P4, then that definitely confirms it, that we won't be seeing any more improvement, I think. You never know, though. Maybe you can pull a worldie of a lap out of the bag, but it already doesn't look very confident at all as he makes his way through. I expect we're going to be seeing...
Understeering there through turn 6.
Yeah, I expect this is going to be a red Delta, and he's off the track as well. And unfortunately, that is going to be, I think, it for qualifying. He obviously had that bit of a moment, but nobody out there able to find some time. We'll have a look at Sinan as well.
Yeah, heading through turns 8 and 9 now into turn 10. It's managing to keep it on track through 11 and 12 now. And he's a 10th down. Now, he hasn't, in the grand scheme, had the best first lap to begin with. I think a bit of sliding on the rear there through turn 13. Now, heading through turn 16. Oh, so close to losing the car there. Riding on board, that was not fun to watch. And now heading through turns 21 into 22. He's 0.12 down, so he's not down by much. He's still going. I don't think this is over yet.
I think in the case of Sinan, he didn't really lose much in Sector 1, and that is the place where you're going to lose the majority of your time. In Sector 2 and Sector 3, there's only really three or four braking zones. Well, I don't think he'll be improving anymore. I think that is for certain. Slight crash there for the Ferrari driver.
He might have a bit more front left wear than he'd like, but yeah, not ideal.
We'll have to see how those downforce levels will help him out in the race. I mean, maybe taking off the front wing might help him with a bit of top speed. His teammate is also out there on the track, ready to go for glory. He only needs to find 14 thousandths of a second to get, well, 15 thousandths to get P11 here. If you can pull the lap out of the bag and find yourself a 10th, that really could be a big, big improvement. Just over a 10th would put Tom 97 up into P6.
Yeah, and he is going to go for it now, taking the wide entry. And somehow, despite the rain starting with 11 minutes left, we're still going with 2 minutes, and it's actually genuinely close. Braking now, flicking the car in through turns 1 and 2. And now keeping all the way to left hand side through turn 3. Right, let's see turn 4. How sketchy is it going to be? Oh, he had to counter steer. He turned in too early, and he would have sheared the front left off there. We almost had two Ferraris suffering the same fate there. And he's trying to lift so much. Yeah, he's backed off.
Yeah. Unfortunate stuff there for Tom97. He won't get the lap together here. It didn't look terrible, but it didn't look great at all. It looked like an unconfident first lap, if I had to describe it. You know, like first lap out on the track, trying to see what the car's going to do, really. And unfortunately, it just didn't work. And I think I have disconnected.
You have.
Well, I don't think the results are going to change very much in these next 2 minutes. Hopefully, we can get ourselves back into the lobby.
Yeah, Kevin's on an outlap, so you've got plenty of time.
Not too sure what's actually gone on there. I think no dropped frames, so I don't think it was...
On
think the stream is fine.
Discord stream of your view, it went very blurry just before you disconnected.
I think it might have just been a very slight momentary issue.
Oh, Tom97 going again? Oh no, it's not. Anyways, I'll watch Kevin.
Failed to join the session. That's not good.
That's really not good.
I think it might be because I accidentally joined like 2 times. If not, we might end up with a very interesting situation where
At best, I could screen share the game to Discord and you stream my screen share.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna be an interesting one if we can't get ourselves back into the lobby. Not something I think we were planning for, but hopefully this time it will work. There we go. Just got to get through the menus. I might get put in a... Yeah, I need to press spectate. If I got put in a car, that would have been very bad.
That's gonna be really funny.
It's happened a couple times before where I've got disconnected during qualifying and then joined the lobby, and yeah, having to commentate a race while driving the car on a controller, making sure I don't know, to be honest. With difficulty.
Right, I'm ready to quickly turn my screen share on just in case you are in a car. Then you can put it on that. I'll commentate and you bring it back.
I think it's gonna be fine. What car? Okay, it'll be an Aston Martin, so it's not a terrible car if I do end up in a car.
If you press spectate, you won't get the take control option. Quickly.
What do you mean press spectate? I'm already in the lobby.
Yeah, no, but you won't be able to take control of the car per se. In the thing. So if you find Stroll, whoever it is.
I can't even find it. I think it's too late in the session now to take a car.
Oh, yeah, that's good. No. That means you can't.
Oh, good. Lovely. Okay, we're not going to have any issues with accidentally driving my first race in WOR.
Yeah.
Well, what a qualifying session. We're just waiting for the Mercedes to get pushed back, but Lennart Deckers taking pole position with that initial run. I think for at least half of these drivers, it was their first lap that counted in the end. But Lennart Deckers on pole position. Nico Rasenberg starting alongside Star in the Alpine. Starting up in P3, going to hope for a better result than last time they raced. Actually, they raced last time out as well, but in Silverstone and last time out, not really a great race for them. But starting in P3, hopefully going to bounce back strong. We've got Jonas Adam on his debut, I believe. Starting in P4, we've got Myth Pesci, Mikael Rebmers, Thomas Bowser, Invasizo, Crisis, Tom97, Sinan, Tim Tornamo, Kevin West, Marcos, Adrian Vettel, and Jerem97 with a qualifying ban starting down at the back of the field. We head down to the track now, and hopefully we're not going to see torrential downpours, and we're not. That would have been very, very interesting.
Yeah, could you see on your telemetry if we've got any more sprinkling scheduled?
I don't think it's going to tell me just yet, but also it didn't tell me there was going to be any rain in qualifying, so I will quickly have a look, but I'm not sure whether I would have got any data since I left the session. And no, it's not showing me anything right now, unfortunately. I expect it's going to be dry, though. If it rains, we're in for a treat. But as it stands, I think it's probably going to be dry. Yeah, going to be an interesting one here tonight. But Leonard and Nico, top 2 in the championship, starting first and second. Less than a tenth separated them in qualifying. And now we battle it out here on the Jeddah Corniche circuit, 6.2 kilometers. And it's going to be a 25-lap race. The tyres are tricky around here as well, and I think that's going to be a very big talking point. Who can pull off the 1-stop, or who's going to go for a 2-stop?
Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting. I wouldn't rule out a safety car around this circuit. You know, with how close the walls are, how high speed. We didn't get anybody shearing off a front left in turn 4 in quali. So, what, we've got about 45 minutes for me to be proven wrong?
Yeah, yeah, safety car off 5 maybe, given the circuit. You never know what could happen really here. And with a couple of drivers maybe slightly out of position, given that we really had a one-shot qualifying almost there, I think we could be in for a little bit of chaos as some drivers try and fight their way through the field, try and get themselves back into a more representative position. We've got Tom97 third in the championship. He's starting down in P12, so he's definitely going to be looking to make some positions up. I think Vettel, who has had some incredible comeback drives this season, he sits 6th in the championship, had that podium, of course, in Britain. He's down in P18, which is incidentally where he started in Silverstone as well. So maybe another comeback drive on the cards for the Aston Martin driver in the Haas.
I mean, yeah, Aston in the Haas, but he's starting in the bottom 5 every race this season, and when he's finished, I think has always finished in the top 5. So... Yeah, he nipped Tom97 on the line in Vegas for P5, didn't he?
Yeah, so. It's P5, P3 and a DNF for Vettel this season. I think we will very soon. That is not great for Inversizzo as he disconnects from the session, I think.
Inver's race. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I think we will be starting any second now. They said to ready up at 28, and it's now 28 and 30 seconds, which is roughly how long the countdown is. So I expect any second now we will be headed to the grid. The driver's just going to be making those final few adjustments, setting their fuel, and here we go. Here at the Jeddah Corniche, the 5 lights are on ahead of the drivers, and we are racing. Leonard Decker's getting a decent start off the grid once again, already pulling himself comfortably clear. Nico Rasenberg fighting behind Jonas and Adam Starr, battling away through the first few corners. Couple cars ghosted as they make their way through. Myth making moves as well. He's up to P5. I think we're going 3 wide further behind. Surely this has to end well.
Tom97 has just lost 3 or 4 positions there. He had to slam on the brakes on the inside. That's so bad for the man who was P3 in the championship, as you've already mentioned. But yeah, perfect start there for Leonard Deckers. Did everything he needed to. It helped as well that it looked like Nico Rasenberg got a lot of wheel spin on the race start, and it was actually under pressure from Starr and Jonas Adam. So, yeah, Leonard Decker's already half a second ahead. We've got Tim Tornamo going side by side with Crisis, getting ahead, heading through turn 13. Tom97 is in P18.
Yeah, really poor start to the race. We've got an Alpine there, Jerem making moves. He goes a little bit wide. Someone tapping the wall on the exit there. Hopefully no damage. But Vettel looking to put pressure on, trying to fight back here. Good contact as they bump their way down the straight in towards turn number 22. Vettel having to back out of that one. Does not want to take any risks on lap 1 of 25. Leonard Decker's already 7/10 of a second clear. Up at the front of the field. Nico Rasenberg crucially keeping himself in DRS contention. It's back to back to back DRS zones. You can really benefit as long as you can stay within that 1 second margin.
Yeah, the difficulty is holding on with the dirty air through sector 1, which is 10 relatively high speed corners, where it is very difficult to keep within the top of the car in front. And we do actually, I think that was Crisis having a look from Thomas Balchan in back. But yeah, Leonard's still holding on, and it looks like Rasenberg is closing in slightly, even with the dirty air.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a pretty decent job this time around through the first sector. Just looking at his sector time, he was a 10th faster than Leonard. Jonas, another 10th faster as well. So our top few drivers converging together a little bit. Myth dropping off. He lost about 4/10 of the car in front of him. He's now very close to dropping outside that DRS, but he will keep it for this next straight, which will allow him probably to stay with all these drivers all the way through towards turn 1.
Yeah, I think as well, just looking at Nico getting so close to the rear of that Red Bull, you know, for Jeddah, this is quite close. And now with the DRS and the slipstream, not saving the battery, neither is Leonard. Leonard's now gone into harvest, heading into the corner. With Nico, locking up a little bit, but can he maybe get the run now? Heading down the main straight, over the line to start the third lap now. Nico Ratzenberg, is he going to go for the move into turn one? No, he's not. He's just sitting behind and biding his time against the Red Bull, as with Victor Garcia last week.
Yeah, Jerem going for a move into turn one, goes a little bit deeper. That could give Kevin West a chance to stick it around the outside. Tornamo, what's happened to him?
Tornamo has spun through turn two.
Really, really unfortunate stuff there for the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, he's just spun back on purpose. I think he's waiting for a safety. He's trying to wait.
Maybe some wheel issues. I'm not too sure what is going on here. We'll have a quick look at the tyres as well. In the meantime, Mikhail, Kreises and Vettel, the only drivers to start on the hard compound tyres. Everybody else has opted for a set of the mediums. Really not sure what is going on there for the Red Bull driver.
Trying to cause a safety car, get himself back in the race, which I'm assuming is very illegal.
Up at the front, Ratzenberg getting close once again. Losing a bit of time there through 22 and 23 though. Drops himself a little bit further behind as we continue on down towards the final corner. He'll close himself in with this DRS, give him another dose down towards turn one, and maybe a chance to make a move here in towards the first corner. Once again, he's only a couple of tenths off the back of the Red Bull driver, making his way in towards turn one. He'll pull over to the inside line, and before they even hit the brakes, Nico Ratzenberg takes the lead here at the Jeddah Corniche. And we continue on now with a new race leader, making our way through towards turn number 4. Still no drivers hitting that inside wall crucially though. Everybody keeping it relatively safe with the walls.
Yeah, I'm still watching Tornamo. He's got going again. But he's driving very slowly, getting as close as he can to all the walls, closer than you do at full speed. And yeah, it is perplexing. Hit another one there. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him for now. But it is looking like Kevin West might be getting quite close to Tom 97 now, based on the Delta.
Yeah, bit of a gap now, up to half a second. Somebody hitting the wall there as they make their way through. I think it's going to be a sound that we're hearing quite often throughout this race. Hopefully no damage picked up. Leonard is close to the back of Nico Ratzenberg, once again up at the front of the field. Might be thinking about a re-overtake very, very soon. Jonas Adam also sticking very close to the back of Leonard Deckers as well. So maybe a chance for him to follow through potentially if he's got a lot of battery to spare here as they get onto the power out of the final corner. Tim Tornamo has retired in the pit lane, so that is the first of the 19 drivers to drop out of this race.
And they're not very consistent, are they, the yellows down the straight? Sometimes they give an illegal overtake, sometimes they don't, but it looks like Leonard Decker has managed to get the position. But on the exit, Nico Ratzenberg getting the better drive and getting back up into the lead.
I have a feeling there might have been an illegal overtake there. Leonard not really making an effort there to really get out of the corner there, and drops himself back behind. Unfortunate stuff there. His teammate was the cause of that as well, if that is the case. But yeah, Leonard continues on. I think if we are going to see anybody try a two-stop, you can potentially consider coming into the pits as early as about lap 5 or 6. It is a very, very powerful undercut that you will get once you get onto those hard compound tyres. But if anybody is going to try it, it's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, the clean air is going to play a massive part in it as well. I mean, at the minute they're all bunched up in a train. You know, I don't think all of them are, you know, pushing flats out. I highly, highly doubt that. But just on board with Red. Looks like he could be going for a move on Mikhail Kuzella, who is equally close to Pesci. So I'll keep an eye on this battle because I believe down the straight you're going to want to keep your attention to the front.
Yeah, Lennart was very, very close to Rasenberg, lost a bit more time. I think it's quite consistent. They're about 3/10 off coming out of the final corner, but that is close enough to make the move into turn one if the car in front doesn't have DRS, which is the case up at the front. And Lennart this time around, no yellow flags coming into play, and he gets that move done significantly easier, gets himself up into P1 once again. Rasenberg gonna drop back through this next sector as a result of the dirty air. Let's see. Jerome getting close to Marcos as he continues his push back through the field. Are we going to see anybody trying a two-stop here tonight, or are they all going to commit to the tyre saving and the one-stop in the train? I think if one or two drivers do attempt it, they could be in for a pretty decent result, but also getting yourself through the traffic is going to be pretty tricky. Mikael Kreisers and Vettel are the only drivers as it stands with those hard compound tyres, so they're going to be going long. They should get some free air at some point in this race, and that should help them out as well.
I mean, is it... I mean, we've seen it quite a few times this season where somebody has gone exceptionally early. We assume it's potentially a two-stop, but then they somehow pull off the one-stop. Do you reckon that's a feat we could see again?
I don't think so at this circuit, purely because the tyre wear is so high. I expect if we do see an early pit stop, it actually will be for a two-stop rather than trying to do 20 laps on the hard compound tyres. And we have got somebody pulling over, I think, never mind. One of the V-carbs came over to the left-hand side and then bailing back over to the right-hand side. Nobody coming in just yet. Everybody continuing on with probably a one-stop strategy here tonight. We've got moves happening further back. Sinan and Adrian wheel to wheel through the first few corners. The Ferrari on the outside. That will switch to the inside as they run side by side still down towards turn 4. Who is going to be braver as they hit the brakes? Almost hitting the wall there for Sinan as he goes off the track.
He did hit the wall there, and I believe he forced Adrian off with him. So both cars going off. And crucially, now out of the DRS train. So this is where we could see a divide in the pack. Thomas Balcher also still struggling to hold on to Crisis Pilakouris. If he drops out of 1 second, which I think he just has, this is where we could see the split in the train.
Yeah, it's unfortunate stuff for the drivers who are sat behind, but the DRS so powerful around here. If they can't get themselves back within the 1 second margin, it could spell disaster for their race. That time just going to compound lap after lap and pull them further and further away.
This is where they need the undercut to work well for them. They need to go maybe 1 lap earlier than optimal. Yes, the tyres might be hurting at the end, but the undercut could gain them, what, like 4 or 5 positions, as the Williams drivers do swap positions heading into the final corner, and that is in them trying to get past Michał Kazella to start putting pressure on Pesci. I thought for a second that the Haas was coming into the pit lane.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing when the driver's trying to take the shortest line. It means basically following the pit entry. You have got more side-by-side as well.
Yeah, Marcos and Jerem going side-by-side through turns 1 and 2. And Marcos Olmedo, I believe this is debut for him as well, is now up into P13. Tom 97 getting stuck behind the Alpine on the exit of turn 3 as well. Adrian Therese also got up into P11 ahead of Sinan after the little off that they both had on the lap prior. And I guess there is still a point in this. Not only could they catch Thomas Boucher, but Thomas Boucher also has a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, it is unfortunate already picking up a penalty this early on into the race. I mean, it's going to be tough looking forward given how close this grid is. But it is just the way it is, unfortunately. Don't keep it within the white lines and you will pick up a time penalty. Lennart has been slowly but surely closing back in on Nico Rasenberg as well, getting himself back under the half-a-second margin. Not a great run, though, through the chicane of 22 and 23, and that has put Jonas Adams right onto the back of the Red Bull driver down towards the final corner. Could be a chance to see some overtaking here once again. Lennart's going to have been saving some tyres, sat behind the McLaren here as he follows through, gaining back the time with the DRS. When will be the opportunity for him to try and break away here, potentially? He's going to look to the inside, but not going for the move just for now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw there just how powerful DRS is. Jerem went onto the North DRS about 6-7 tenths back. from Nico Rasenberg ended it almost 2 seconds. I think that's a testament to how strong the DRS can be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's so important to have that DRS, as we can now see. Look at Thomas Bowser. He's now 1.5 seconds off the back of cars that are really stuck in dirty air. It's not great for him. Redmond is also now struggling and might also lose that DRS. That could give a bit of a chance to the cars behind to try and close themselves back in. But I think for the time being, just going to be a waiting game.
Yeah, I think, especially for these cars that are stuck behind Thomas Boucher, we probably will see somebody come in at the end of this lap, at least one driver. In what normal pit lap is what, lap 10 or 11?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so, somewhere around there.
We'll definitely see some people attempting in this lap, especially maybe a Tom 97 or a Vettel who definitely, not Vettel because he's on the hards, but at least Tom 97, Jerem, who are drivers who we know have possibly more pace than these guys, but are currently stuck in the train. I think that is Nico Rasenberg. Oh no, it's not. It's Myth coming in. So Myth is into the pits. Pesci is in. As down the inside goes Leonard Deckers into turn 1. The McLaren and the Red Bull are fighting their way through, and it looks like they're still going to be going side by side, heading towards turn 4. But Nico Rasenberg just tucks in behind, and that little side by side moment there could be potentially the lead for Myth with the undercut.
Yeah, half of the grid has come into the pits on this lap. Myth, Pesci, Redmers, Adrian, Thomas Bowser, Sinan, Marcus, Jerem, and Invasizo all in on this same lap as Adrian picks up a 3-second time penalty. Now we see the power of the undercut. How brave are the drivers going to be? How much tyre are they willing to use early on in the stint? And how much battling are we going to see up at the front now? They know that this is probably the lap where they need to put the work in if they want to try and hang on to this one. If you lose a couple positions in the train, it could be very costly. I think crucially for them, these drivers at the front, there were only a couple of drivers, I think 3 drivers from their train who actually came into the pit. So they haven't lost, worst case scenario, they're probably losing 3 positions. In which case they could make those back.
Myth's already gained 2 seconds on Kevin Vest, so...
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, it's between like 2 and 3 seconds, the undercut here. Myth was a second faster in the middle sector, and there's only 2 corners in that sector as Lennart into the pits, as is Jonas Adams. Nico Rasenberg staying out on the track. This is going to get interesting now. 3 drivers still sticking it out.
Yeah, Rasenberg's hoping for the tyre offset to pay dividends, or potentially a safety car. Of course, Saudi Arabia, you're going to expect him. Look at Myth! Myth's going to be ahead, I think, as well. Jonas Adam almost got Lennart in the pit stops there. He did actually come out ahead, but got ghosted back behind. Redmer's coming out side by side with Jonas Adam. We could potentially see him send a move down the inside into turn 4, but no. He has got the warmer tyres, though, and will definitely try and get the run towards turn 13. But Myth is ahead of Leonard Deckers by over a second with the undercut, and was over a second behind when he pitted.
Fortunately for Lennart, though, through the first sector, he has closed in on the cars in front. He is still within the DRS as it stands. Got to stay there through the exit of this corner, which he is doing. He's only lost 2 positions on the track as a result of this. Rasenberg is going to be in a very tough position. He could be coming out potentially behind Star, 5 or 6 cars off of the lead of this train.
Yes, not ideal at all for Nico Rasenberg. The only good news for him is that, it's like a 4-second gap from Star back to Adrian, and he should easily slot into that gap, you would imagine.
Yeah, he is into the pits now. Sinan picking up a 3-second time penalty. Unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. And our 3 hard runners now leading the way up at the front of the field. Although probably not... Yes, although one of those is not actually a Haas. It's an Aston Martin, but could spell some disasters in the pit stops potentially if they mess that one up. We have got Rasenberg now making his way out of the pits as Jerem setting the fastest lap of the session, and he does feed out into the back of this train behind Redmers. He is putting a bit of pressure on though as they head towards turn 4, but not close enough for an overtake. But as it stands, his teammate is leading the train. and he's 7 positions behind. He has got a lot of work to do if he wants to make this one work.
He's gone from first to 7th. That's what it is. Unfortunate there for Nico. Of course, he's got a 1 or 2 lap offset to everybody else, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Maybe if, you know, Myth, Pesci and Redmers are going to be, you know, at risk of a puncture near the end, it'll be enough. But I think this might be a strategical blunder from the young German.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it's going to be tough to overtake in the train, although Lennart Deckers is going to try and show us how as we make our way towards 22 and 23. The Red Bull driver thought about the move at Pesci with a bit more battery usage, holds onto that position.
He took that personally, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one, because even if the tyres do start falling off, even if they save tyres at the front of this field, here comes Rasenberg now around the outside into the final corner. He does get that move done, starting to make his way through the train. The drivers can probably save a bit of tyres, get themselves that wear back, and they're probably going to be in a pretty decent position. Redmers is into the pits again. I think that might be to a tyre.
Pesci's gone into the lead of the Grand Prix down the inside of Myth. I wasn't actually expecting that, to be fair. I thought he would just sit behind in the DRS, but now we'll see. Obviously, with Lennart seemingly much faster than Pesci, if Pesci was maybe stuck behind Myth, it does look like it, as Myth has already dropped a ton of time through the first sector.
Yeah, not ideal stuff. As here thought about the move to the inside. Marcus Olmedo picking up a 3-second time penalty. These drivers who did go slightly longer, that small tyre advantage, they are really using it to their advantage, putting it to work and getting themselves through, although Lennart hasn't yet made an overtake in the train. Myth is now 8/10 off the back of Pesci. He is really starting to lose some time, and Lennart is going to have to use some battery here if he wants to try and stay with them. 6/10 the gap now. That DRS helping them to catch back up a little bit, but Jonas Adam, he is right on the back here of Lennart as we run down towards 27. Maybe slightly lower wings in play as well. He is gaining on the Red Bull driver as they look to the outside into the final corner. Lennart having to defend instead of attack, and that might compromise him here as we run down towards turn 1. These cars only a couple tenths separating them. This could get messy through the first sector as Myth looking to re-overtake for the lead of the train. Nico Rasenberg wheel to wheel with Star. Where does Lennart Deckers go? Where does Jonas Adam go? Can't find any moves for those drivers, and all of a sudden Rasenberg through. That was a bit of contact there, though, between himself and Star, as you just said. And through all of that, Lennart and Jonas haven't made progress, and all the while, Rasenberg has caught straight back up.
I do think Lennart and Jonas are being a bit held up here. I don't know, maybe Myth and Pesci tyre saving, or I think it was just Myth, really, in the first sector is seemingly quite weak. Although Pesci has had a similarly bad run on this lap, and Star has a look to the inside of Nico Rasenberg, but that would have been a risky place to do it. 2/10 back heading into turn 13.
Yeah, let's see. Move further behind. Thomas Bowser getting overtaken, I think, by Marcus Olmedo further back in that second train of cars. I mean, you can really see the effect that the DRS has had now. There's nearly a 4-second gap between the two trains. Just a result of Adrian not having the DRS at the front to push them along. They aren't really making very much progress at all. I was expecting them to have already caught up to Vettel as we head towards turn 27 once again. Rasenberg is looking to make a move here around the outside of Jonas, trying to find that move, but not quite working. This is going to be another battle towards the first corner.
And yeah, here goes Lennart Deckers, pulls out of the slipstream of Pesci to try and go for the move, but he can't. Down the inside goes Nico Rasenberg on the Sauber, and can he make the move stick now? He's going to go for the switch back through turn 2, try and get the better acceleration out of the corner now. On the outside, heading into turn 4, and Jonas is going to stick it down the inside. Off goes Rasenberg. Oh, contact between the two of them, and that has compromised Jonas Adam. Kyoto Star heads through, and Nico Rasenberg has now dropped out of the DRS, although I think he will probably just burn the battery to get back in.
He was burning his battery there, but the bad news for him is he is running very low on battery. I think just looking at his steering wheel as we went on board with him briefly, he is going to have to give it absolutely everything to keep himself within this DRS. As it stands, he is within the train, and given how slow this train is going, in fact, they have just caught up to Vettel. So this is going to help him out a lot. The other two hard runners have now made their pit stops last lap around. Vettel is now the net leader. Myth going to have to try and use Vettel here.
The concertina behind the old hards on the what I'm now dubbing the Aston Martin, as now the McLaren gets through, Pesci gets through, and I think Lennart Deckers has also managed to get through. I think Vettel kind of realizing that there's not much point putting up a fight with these guys, although Lennart Deckers might have just gotten the jump on Pesci as a result of this, as they go side by side down the straight. Vettel is still staying out, so he is now right in the middle of these guys. And what that has done is now Adrian Therese is only 2 seconds behind Jonas.
This could spell disaster for all the cars who currently sit behind Vettel through this first sector. Rasenberg is always pushing the Aston Martin through these corners. He has got so much more grip, but he just can't find a way through. There's probably going to be a move towards turn number 13, but they've almost lost DRS already just through the first sector alone. Adrian Therese all the while is catching up to the back of this train, and still no move for Rasenberg. The gap is coming down corner after corner. We are outside of the DRS now. Rasenberg looking just for a brief moment, thought there was a chance to try and get a run. But the gap is gone now. They're outside the DRS.
And this could be even worse if they can't get past before turn 22. Because then they've got the turn 22 to 4 complex. And there goes Rasenberg on the outside. He manages to get through. Can Star find a way through? No, he can't. And oh, Vettel goes off the track, coming back on and running Star out to the wall. And that there was very sketchy from the Aston Martin. As now we've also got Jonas Adam going for the move to get ahead of Vettel now. And yeah, there it is. I think now they have cleared the very out of position car. And now, yeah, Vettel comes in. But we have got 3 wide down the straight now, Josh.
Yeah, Tom 97 looking to make some moves. Crisis looking to capitalize as well as the Mercedes and the Ferrari 4. He's managed to make 2 moves for the price of 1. I have only just put 2 and 2 together. They're both Vettel and Adrian, both Aston Martin drivers. All that backing up has got Adrian a lot closer to the DRS of the cars in front. That might have been a bit of a play to try and help his teammate out a bit. But also to try and give himself a very strong tyre offset to the end of this race. He comes out last of the runners, 9 seconds off the back. But if there's anything that can be done, I mean, there's a chance, I guess, for him to recover. Still, though, he has gained a position from the start of this race, so still positive to take away, I guess.
It has also helped his honorary teammate, Michael Kazella, who, at the minute, despite being 12th, is running net P9 with all the penalties. Tom 97 net P8, Crisis net P7.
Yeah, and things are going to get very spicy because Crisis and Mikhail, the 2 runners with significantly newer tyres and softer as well as the car going wide, one of the Mercedes.
Oh, that's Marcos!
Yeah, not great stuff there. It was almost contact as they made their way through 24. Down towards the final corner, we're going to run. Mikhail looking to try and find a way through. Crisis, the other driver on this same strategy. He's through to P8 on the track now. He is looking to try and get himself into the fight. We've got 8 laps of racing left to go here at the Corniche, and he's only 1.8 seconds off of the leading train. Here we go in towards turn 1. With that DRS, he is through. He is into clean air, and crucially, he can start to push and try and get himself into the fight for a potential win here tonight.
Again. The Mercedes battling in Vicizo has gone off, and I think the rejoin forced Inver off through turn 2. So, yeah, letting the Racing Bulls car get back ahead, but that has massively cost them. Michael Kazella almost going side by side with Tom 97 into turn 8 as well.
Yeah, we are seeing some incredible battling. Crisis Pilakouris is now getting himself closer and closer.
Oh, there goes Mikhail down the inside on Tom 97. And yeah, the Haas getting up into P10. I believe Mikhail a full-time Haas driver. I think. Let me check.
Yes, he is.
Yes, so Haas on for their first points of the season.
Yeah, we got...
Alpine as well with Star.
Yeah, as it stands as well, Myth and Pesci still leading this train. Lennart and Rasenberg haven't yet been able to make the moves through the train. They made the moves through past the other drivers, but the cars at the front, they haven't been able to get past. I don't know if they're just biding their time for later on, as Sinan and Adrian Torres battling. Sinan getting himself up into P8 now. Crisis is already 2 seconds clear of the cars behind. This is the pace advantage he's showing, and yeah, as you say, he is in this train now as they head towards the first corner. Can he fight his way through the traffic like we saw Rasenberg doing earlier on?
Yeah, we've got, I think that was the Mercedes there of Marcus Almeida just sticking a nose down the inside of the Aston Martin. Oh no, it's Michael Kozella who's getting really close to that Aston Martin, using the medium tyres his own way, but just having a little bit more difficulty in getting through.
And slowly the time is ticking down for the drivers to make their moves. Crisis has got that tyre advantage though. And very soon, I think we're going to be seeing that coming into full effect. Kevin West getting close to the back of Jerem as well, who after that qualifying ban hasn't really made very much progress at all.
Right, here goes Michael, round the outside in turns 16 and 17. Off the track he goes, and he'll have to back out of it. But no, he doesn't. He's still going, maybe thinking he was forced a bit wide there. And both with the DRS now, thanks to Sinan, heading towards turn 22. And yeah, it's status quo.
This could be the chance for Lennart. He's extremely close, less than a tenth of a second behind Pesci in towards the final corner. He'll look to the outside. Pesci doing everything he can to defend. Lennart going the long way around. Does he get the run on the exit? There's a bit of contact. And there, the V-Carb driver loses the car. He's got damage and he's sent spinning around. That is devastation. I think there's a couple more cars potentially.
Nico!
Yes,
Nico
crucially.
Rosberg.
Capitalising on the chaos, Rasenberg looking to try and get himself into the position for a McLaren 1-2.
More contact with them through turn 3. They've both nearly dropped it there. So close to disaster between Lennart and Nico. And we're now looking at a potential McLaren double podium.
And maybe even a McLaren 1-2 if Rasenberg can get himself past Lennart here. Things are very quickly changing, and Crisis as well is now in P5. He only has to overtake 4 cars here, and he's got a 5-lap, a 4-lap, and a 3-lap tyre advantage over these guys, and a step softer on the tyres as well. He could be in a very, very strong position. Let's see what he can do now with the alternative strategy. With 5 and a bit laps left to go here. Unfortunate stuff for Pesh. He just couldn't control the car on the exit as he desperately tried to hang on to that P2. And unfortunately sends him out of this race.
Yeah, Lennart getting a bit wide on the exit there of turn 24. But now they're all going to get bunched up behind Myth, heading into turn 27 now. And Nico again getting quite close to Lennart in the mid-corner. But the question is, how well can these McLarens work together?
Well, it's going to be a tough one, especially... Yeah, with Crisis.
Crisis round the outside. Oh, contact there between the two of them. It looked like Star just kind of turned across the front of Crisis Pilacuris there. Sinan gets a 3-second time penalty for straight corner cutting though. So it'll be interesting to see potentially what that was. Yeah, Myth, Lennart and Nico 3/10 apart from each other. And Nico's gotten a good run off of turn 11. But I think Lennart's just got a slightly better one.
Yeah, turn 13 probably not going to be an overtaking opportunity given all the dirty air through that first sector unless you see a big mistake from the car in front. The time is ticking down though. The moves are going to have to come thick and fast if you want to try and get yourself into contention. But of course, with 3 DRS zones, the run towards the line, anything could happen on the final lap of this race. You probably want to be sitting in second place. I'm not too surprised that Lennart has just been happy sitting in second, managing his tyres, managing his battery, and then giving himself the prime position for the final lap. As I think Star going a little bit wide there. Crisis Pilacuris might be thinking about another move to come on this lap as well, as Rasenberg is also getting very close to the back of Lennart Deckers.
I'm think we might see a potential 3 wide down the straight here. As now, Nico Rasenberg in the DRS of Leonard Deckers in the DRS of Myth. They could be going for it once more. Oh, he has a look. So does Crisis on Star. I think Crisis is a bit stuck here. Tom 97 getting past Sinan as well. I believe Sinan might have just gone off the track there. Now the two Ferraris going to go side by side towards turn 4, but now Sinan backs out of it. I think he does have about 6 seconds. Oh, big slide for Sinan, and that has cost him the position to Adrian, and they're still all now bunching up through the middle of the first sector here. Adrian, Sinan, and Michal having a lot of trouble on
Crisis down the inside on Star, into 13. The lap after, we say it's not really an overtaking opportunity. I think Star might have made a mistake earlier on. He's through into 4th now. 1 overtake per lap would see him take the victory here. That's all he's got to do. Let's see if he can pull this one off. Battles all over the field here in these final few laps.
Even the podium would be a good result for Crisis. I think he started P9 or 10 in this race. Oh, off goes Rasenberg. This could be the chance that Crisis needs to get up into the podium places.
He's a little bit too far behind, I think, unfortunately, having that battle with Star, who I think made a mistake. He was about 0.8 of a second behind in towards turn 13. He has managed to close back in, but not able to capitalise just yet on the squabbles ahead of him, as cars swapping positions further behind as well.
Planet down the inside. And lock up from the Red Bull. Is he able to go for the switchback now with Myth? And they're going to run side by side towards turn 4. This could be the make or break of the race for both of them. And side by side they go off the track there, I think, for Leonard Deckers. He might have just kept the wheel on, but Deckers back into the lead here in Jeddah.
Now, how much tyres has Leonard been able to save? How hard can he push? Can he try and break away from the cars behind? Are we going to see some team orders down in McLaren? Rasenberg is going to have significantly better tyres than his teammates, as well as there. Marcus is out in the first sector. We've had a crash down at turn numbered 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there.
9.
Yeah, unfortunate stuff there for the Mercedes driver. Might have got caught up battling with another car. But unfortunately, race is going to be over for him with just a couple of laps left to go. Crisis Pilacuris is getting closer once again to the back of these guys, but not close enough just yet for an overtake. But with Rasenberg getting caught up in his teammates' dirty air, there could be a chance very soon for him to try and follow through as the McLarens do swap the positions. Does Crisis have the run to try and move potentially into turn 27? He is closing in, but I think he's just going to bide his time as they make their way into the final corner to start the penultimate lap of this race. It's Leonard Rasenberg, then Myth, then Crisis on those medium tyres. How much life is left in them? He's now done 8 laps on those tyres. They're not going to be feeling great, and here to the inside. The McLaren drivers battling away. Rasenberg having to defend a little bit. Smith getting caught up on the inside. Is this going to give Crisis an opportunity to try and find a move later in the lap?
Potentially. I mean, this is the sort of stuff we've been begging from the real-life McLaren drivers all season. Vettel has also just retired from the session, and Sinan, I believe, both in the pit lane. So only 13 runners left. Kevin Vest and Invasizo both going off the road in turn 4. What's happened between those two? As they are now in the battle for the final points positions. Invasizo, despite disconnecting on lap 1, only coming back around lap 3, now running in the points.
Yeah, lots and lots of squabbles for these minor points positions as Adrian Doriz looking for the move on Mikael Kuedza as they get onto the power. Unfortunately, nothing there for the Haas driver as the final lap will be coming very soon. Leonard is 7/10 clear as it stands. Rasenberg will be closing in now, trying to save as much battery as he can. Myth all the while is getting dropped. There could be a podium on the cards for Crisis Pilacuris here. He's almost 9/10 off the back now is Myth of his teammate. Might be a risk of losing DRS on this final lap.
I don't think he'll lose it down onto the main straight, which would be where there's a serious problem for Myth. But this is the make or break of the lap for Nico Rasenberg, is if he can catch into turn 1, and I don't think he can. He's just not close enough, is he?
Yeah, but he's going to have 3 back-to-back-to-back DRS zones to try and decide when he wants to make that move. It's going to be a strategical battle towards the end of this race as Mikael looks to the inside on the Aston Martin of Adrian, and they both go off the track, and that could give the switch back for Invasizo, and we're almost going forward here. There's big contact as they make their way towards turn 4, and through comes the Mercedes down the inside of Kevin West to make the triple overtake. But is it... Absolute chaos on the final lap of this race. You never know who's going to come through, but Kevin West with the triple overtake.
Mikael's done. Mikael has been spun around, but Kevin West has gained 4 positions there. However, he did run the Haas off the road in turn 4.
I mean, it was incredible battling. We are on the final lap, and here comes the first of 3 DRS zones. What does Lennart Deckers have left in the tank to defend with? The gap is 0.6 of a second as we run down towards turn number 22. It will come down to 0.4 of a second now as we run through 22 and 23. All the while, Rasenberg closing, but is there going to be enough for him as we run down towards the final corner? 0.5 a second is the gap. He's saving as much battery as he can, but is he running out here into the final corner? Yeah, gonna be a tough one here. Unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna be close enough. It was about 0.3 you needed. So on the run to the line, not gonna get close enough. And it's gonna be Lennart Deckers, your championship leader, to take his 2nd win of the season. Rasenberg comes home in 2nd and Myth in 3rd. It's a double podium for the McLaren team. Kreises Pilakouris with his best finish of the season. Star picking up his 1st points of the season as well. Jonas Adams P6 on debut. Tom 97 comes home in 7th. And then we had Kevin West in the Mercedes. Incredible moves on the final lap to come home in P8. We have one of the V-Carbs in P9, and somehow Jerem 97 has made his way back to the points through all of the chaos. From Qualiban to P10. Decent recovery drive there for the Alpine driver. Fastest lap going to Vettel as well, who went very long on those tyres. Kreises Pilakouris, as we probably expected, with the most overtakes as well. But a very chaotic race once again. I think probably kind of what we were expecting here at the Corniche.
Yeah, looking at the chat, it seems things got a bit heated in the midfield. Vettel and Marcus Almeida seemingly very annoyed. Confirmation Tim Tornemo's wheel did disconnect. Sinan not liking Mikhailov either. Jesus.
Yeah, a very chaotic end to that race. Those final few laps, things getting a little bit heated, but it is Lennart Deckers who will extend his championship lead over Nico Rasenberg, now up to 10 points, leading in the championship. Myth coming home in P3, Kreises Pilakouris in 4th, then Star, Jonas Adam, Tom 97, Kevin West, Invasizo, Jerem 97, then Adrian Therese, Thomas Bowser, Mikael Kazella, who finished a lap down after that DNF, Sinan in P14, also DNF with a couple laps to go, as did Vettel and Marcus Olmedo, Pesci and Redmers and Tim Tornemo, the other drivers not classified in the race there. But what a race we have had. And yeah, incredible, incredible stuff in the end. We'll see if anybody will be hopping in.
Top 3. Lennart Deckers, Nico Rasenberg. Is it Myth?
Yes. Incredible stuff here at the Jeddah Corniche. Lots and lots of chaos. I think going to be a long, long day for the stewards here tonight. Well, maybe not tonight. When they do get around to it, I think there's going to be quite a few incidents to be looked at. But we will be getting Lennart. We'll wait and see if we're going to get Nico and Myth as well. But yeah, really.
Oh, we've got 2. We've got 2 for the first time.
Yeah, and we had Nico last time out, so maybe there's a chance we'll get him as well.
How do you like? You know how you can like attach a channel with hashtag? How do you do it for VC?
I'll just put it. Just send your message and I'll send the thing.
Just.
I sent it a bit early. I saw a message.
What?
Oh, we've got all three of
we've
them.
got three.
Lovely stuff.
No.
All right. Well, first and foremost, hello, Myth.
Hello.
So P3 for yourself here tonight. Pretty decent race, all things considered. The undercut working in your favour. How were you feeling after that one?
Yeah, it was a good race. Considering I don't have that much experience in this league, in these competitions where everybody is so close to each other. Yeah, I consider it a good result. The undercut obviously worked, so yeah, that was a good strategy considering on this track you can't really overtake, and that helped. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were originally thinking maybe somebody would try to stop, as you just said, overtaking quite difficult. How were the tyres feeling at the end there? Because I think you had the longest stint with anybody on those hard tyres, 16 laps. Do you think you could have done much longer, or was that pretty much the limit?
For the pace I was running, I think I was like keeping it to 75 at the end. I was making sure I will not get into puncture territory. So if I had boxed earlier, I obviously had to save more tires. I finished the race on 75, literally the puncture range. So tires were quite bad at the end. And yeah, a few people overtook me at the end, which was simply because they had better tires. But I'm happy considering where I started. I started P5, ended up on the podium, so not bad at the end.
Yep, Ryan, any questions from you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big one we were all wondering is at the end with Nico Rasenberg, obviously your teammate, you're both potentially going for the win. Was there a sense of teamwork there between the two of you? Because we did see side by side in turn 1 and 2, and I could argue that might have cost either yourself or Nico the chance to go for Lena on the final lap.
Yeah, we were not in a call together, but I wanted not to compromise him that much. We had a little touch, which didn't help, but I don't think it was anything major. I think if I let him go like one lap earlier, it would have been better because he had the 2-lap star advantage compared to me and 1 to the Red Bull, I think. So the earlier you try to go for an overtake, the better, because the tire difference is bigger. But unfortunately, he overtook me, I think 1 lap or 2 laps too late, and didn't manage to get P1, which is unlucky considering he's my teammate, and I didn't really want to hurt him.
Yep, and any more questions from you, Ryan?
Nope, nothing more.
Alright, so looking forward to next time out. We're headed to Mexico City, another track where the tyre wear I think is pretty bad. How are you feeling heading into that race?
Well, it will be a bit different, I think, in terms of strategy. I think there will be more people trying to go for a two-stopper. I think it's the tire wear is very bad as well, more than on this track, I think. So that you will see a lot of two-stoppers and some people that will go very slow on a one-stopper, trying to get the track position and lead the race as much as possible. So yeah.
Well, congratulations for the P3 here tonight, and best of luck next week.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
No problem. Alright, next we will have a chat with Nico Rasenberg. Hello, Nico.
Hello.
So, P2 for yourself here tonight. Pretty decent result, considering you were quite a way behind in that train. How are you feeling after that one?
To be honest, it's another podium, so it's very nice. But sadly, my pace wasn't on today. It was very bad, sadly. I need to manage better my ERS for the next time, because I was on last lap on none. So this was a bit difficult to manage. But all in all, Leonard and me was a bit, I don't know, we can't overtook the guys in front. It was very difficult because in this game this dirty air on this track is amazing. So you need really to concentrate to overtake. And we nearly got overtaken from the medium guy. So it was a bad stint, to be honest, from us. Yeah. I mean, it's another podium, so I'm happy.
Yeah, you spent quite a lot of time at the end of for the drivers who started on the hards, the end of their stint. I think it was Vettel. You got caught up behind him for quite a few laps. Do you think maybe that those few laps that you were stuck behind him might have cost you a bit of time there?
No, that was my plan because I had no battery, so I wanted to recharge, but he was very slow in the old hearts. Yeah, but I wanted just to manage my ERS back, so I can overtake Leonard maybe, but yeah.
Yep, anything from you, Ryan?
Yeah, just wondering what the plan was with the tyre strategy. Of course, you pitted lap 11 off of the mediums, the likes of Nick going lap 9, and I think you were only one of 2 people to go until lap 11 on the mediums, I think alongside Kevin Vest. So, were you thinking maybe it'd be easier to overtake than it was? Or, like, what was the thought process behind it?
I was practicing with Jonas Adam and we pitted lap 10, and it was for me a bit too early because I had to manage then my tires, and I wanted to gain massive time with a better tire, but yeah, in this train absolutely no chance, so sadly it's not worked out, but yeah, it's a new experience for me.
Yep, and Mexico next time out, do you think that's a track that will favour you, or do you think the strategy's going to be similar there?
That's track I don't like, to be honest, in this game, because you have no grip here. Yeah, I need to see. I practiced today not that much because I wanted just to keep my pace like this. But I think I will practice for next year much more.
Alright, any last things from you, Ryan?
No, nothing more?
Alright, well, congratulations on the P2 here tonight, and best of luck next time out.
Thank you.
Alright, and last but certainly not least, our race winner here tonight, Leonard. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
So, a bit of a chaotic race, I think. Had some overtaking to do throughout that one as well. Firstly, pole position. How confident were you with that lap? Did you think it would have been pole, or was there more time to be found?
I wasn't too confident because there were some corners where I was sliding or completely missed the apex. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock for me, but I mean, I take it, you know.
Yep, and a really great launch off the grid. Had a bit of battling with Nico in the first stint. When you saw drivers going for the undercut, were you at all worried, or did you think you'd be able to fight your way through?
Actually, I didn't even saw that there were some guys that undercutted me, so I realized it when they were in front of me. But yeah, I mean, I knew I could overtake them, but it was a bit too difficult.
Yep, ultimately you did manage to fight your way through in the end. We saw quite a few moments where you did try and go for the move. Were you struggling a little bit to make those overtakes? We've heard from a couple of the other drivers that it's quite hard to overtake around here.
Yeah, it was a bit hard because my engine was all the time overheating, so I had no top speed. So yeah, I had to go for quite some unusual moves.
Yep, anything from you, Ryan?
Yeah, I do have to ask now, as you're the first driver to win multiple Grand Prix in this WOR Tier 4 season. You are the only driver with 3 podiums in this season as well. The championship. You're leading 10 points clear as it stands. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I just hope that it goes on like this. But yeah, we'll see. There are some tracks that I don't like that much, like Mexico, but yeah, we will see. Maybe I have pace, maybe not.
Alright, well, best of luck to yourself next time out. Hopefully you can carry this strong momentum here in towards the next few weeks and extend your championship lead here tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. Well, Another great race there for Lennart, coming away with the victory. Rasenberg does also have 3 podiums to his name. Two drivers top 2 in the championship with 3 podiums and a non-finish to their name as well. Rasenberg had the DNF in Britain. Lennart not racing in Italy. I mean, already you could look back and say, what if Rasenberg hadn't DNF'd in Silverstone? Yeah, exactly. And we're only on round 4 of this season, but we're already approaching the halfway mark next time out. And I think we are in for a really great battle to come very soon. Any closing thoughts from you after tonight, Ryan?
I do want to mention Crisis once again. Crisis Pilakuri, who I think personally for me would be driver of the day with his race. I think before the pit stops was P9 or P10, and then ended up finishing P4 on the alternate strategy as well, in what I think is only his 3rd race as well in WOR Tier 4. So yeah, just wanted to. He's my shout out of the day. Maybe we'll make that a thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely been something we've seen. We've always had one driver who's kind of had a very, very good race. I mean, Vettel has been pretty consistently that driver in the first few races of this season. But yeah, definitely a strong race from him with that alternative strategy. He managed to make the overtakes to the track, which, as we heard, it's difficult to overtake. So yeah, shout out to him as well. Just a quick shout out as well, if you are looking for any sort of league organization or sim rigs, I'm not exactly sure exactly what they are, but go check out Next Level Racing and Grid Finder. They might have something for you as well. But yeah, that is going to wrap things up here at the Jeddah Corniche. A very, 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 very chaotic race that we've had here tonight.
I did say in the when we were just getting in the call before that either this is going to be the most chaotic race or the most boring race. There's no in between. And at first it looked like the latter, didn't it? But yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for joining us here tonight. We will now be heading over to the Tier 2 broadcast, see how the drivers are getting on over there, if I can find the right buttons. There we go, that's the one I'm looking for. But thank you everybody for watching us, being a really great race here tonight, and we will see you all next week in Mexico City. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.